Yes, I mean, Intracool, we was started in, launched the Platform 11 solution for, one primary purpose, and that was to collect and share data for organizations, so they can try to get into a transition from being simply a responding organization to now a proactive organization, to try to go ahead and now let's try to stop something before it happens. And the only way you can do that is by knowledge, and you get knowledge from sharing amongst all of your people in the industry that can share the data that's required to go ahead and make smart decisions on how to prevent things from happening. So inside of, go ahead.
I was going to say no, and I thank you very much indeed, Casey. I think importantly, we all know there's a base of information anyway, because whether you're a hotel, you're a casino, you're a cruise ship, a hospital, a corporate office, you've got data already sitting there and most probably siloed away. The problem with siloed information is it's not real time. Now, for instance, if you want to update your hotel guests or a cruise ship, passengers know who's coming on board, that can completely be taken into this system automatically. For instance, as a hotel changes, as new guests come on a cruise ship, etc. All of that info is absolutely fluidity, and it's a continuum of a complete system every time there's a change.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. The problem in the world today, for organizations, is not the lack of data. The data is there. The problem is that no one can make any sense of the data. They've got all this data everywhere. You made a great point about it being siloed, not just from, individual properties, but across, entire organizations, not to mention going even further throughout the industry. No one is communicating and sharing this data, and it creates a huge gap, which is where Platform 11 comes in.
So tell us a bit more.
Yeah, so Platform 11 is built on the KISS model, keeping it simple to where, you don't need a massive amount of training to be able to use this. From the user side, this works in multiple environments, where we do run this in a secure cloud environment, which is the preferable environment to run it. But we do have the ability to run this in an enterprise version locally for our clients who do not have internet access, but still need the functionality of some of the things inside of the system. So you obviously see the big red emergency alert, the message. These allows employees or people of the organization to create, look at the emergency alert as a panic, where they can immediately alert individuals inside the organization that is approved to receive these type of alerts, maybe security, maybe administration, management, whoever. Yeah, so creating a message, we can go ahead and allow employees and members of an organization to go ahead and message other employees inside the organization. They can message management, administration, and it could be key things like, hotels need, there's a water leak, there's maintenance issues, there's housekeeping issues, there's security alerts that may not arise to an emergency alert, but it allows employees to document encounters with guests, with the environment that they're in, where now this is saved and all for future purposes, it's queryable. So this is where you have that collection of data from your standard employee. Now, when you go into your higher level of administration or management, you've got the ability to do some really cool things, which we call intel, investigations, currency packets. Now, all of these things are kind of customized for the industry we're dealing with for some point, but they're kind of fluid across all industries, where certain level of employees can now create different intel reports. They can create, what we call subject packets, on it. So a little quick demonstration of how this works is I went ahead and I created a subject packet for an individual. I just used Justin Bieber. He's a guy that has special needs. He's got a peanut allergy. And I went ahead and I added his face inside the system, where now this demonstrates, okay, I've collected information on this guest that's at my property. Could be a cruise ship, could be a hotel, whatever the case may be. I've just identified this individual and what their needs are. So what now the system allows is that anytime I'm a individual at this property and I want to do an investigative query, I've got multiple ways that I can search here, where I can search for a person's name, if they've got a license number, you know, all this information, where it will bring back any information on anybody that's inside the system. Pretty straightforward. The part that's really cool is that when you have somebody that you have in front of you and you can't identify this individual, they don't have a license on them, you know, no one knows them. Who are these people and how do you respond to what's going on with the situation? Maybe they're incapacitated. It's really a delicate situation. So what Platform 11 allows you to do is we have facial rec inside of here to where you can take a picture of the individual that you're involved with. Hey, this is the guy that's unresponsive. We're going to load him into the system and we're going to search. Well, it comes back, hey, it's a 97.31 match of this guy that's inside of our system. So I'm going to confirm this guy. And when I confirm this guy, it shows me what is going on with this individual. Here's who he is. It's an internal. He's got a peanut allergy. Now I can identify this individual and have some information to better respond to something that's going on. So this scenario works for special needs. It works for VIP. It works for something on the criminal side, where you can go ahead and now use facial recognition for a very specified purpose to identify something that you're looking for that can, you know, solve a problem that you're currently dealing with.
Now, you mentioned that. Take, for instance, a casino, and globally, internationally, we have to have identification to get into a casino, and it takes time to do that. So if this was all brought into a system and it is there, we could totally use facial recognition, and they're just going to be able to be recognized and walk in. If they're not recognized, then there is time, money, and effort to find out who this person is. So with our extremely good facial recognition, we can bring up a lot of data, and this data, of course, from a privacy point of view, is held within your system. It's not going out to some national base. This is only information on yourselves. For instance, let's take a cruise line. When the person's checking in, they've already bought their ticket, they're now checking in, they're going to have identification. That identification naturally is copied and put into the system. And as they board that ship, or if they're sailing and they're 10 days into the cruise, you still know who they are. You know who's coming on board because of facial recognition, and you can double check. There's many, many variations that we can use within the Platform 11 system.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where I think some of the power comes in, is that, you know, we talked about siloed data, and the cruise industry is and the hotel industry is perfect for this as well, where if you've got, you know, an individual that causes some major disturbance or some issue on a cruise ship, maybe it doesn't, you know, arise to, you know, the criminal law enforcement point, but it's definitely something that the ship says, hey, this is a very documented case that we have of this individual that caused a problem on one of our ships or in one of our hotels. Well, now when that individual jumps and says, okay, I'm going on another cruise at a different cruise line, it's probably pretty good that the second cruise line knows this individual just caused all kind of problems on a different company's cruise line. Now, we're not going to say that this guy won't be allowed on the ship, but at least the cruise line knows this individual is a known person that has caused problems in the past on other cruise lines. To me, I think that that's something that, you know, the cruise industry, the hotel industry would like to know, just so they can say, hey, we're aware of this individual being on our property, for, you know, for our passenger safety, for our guest safety, for our cruise safety. Again, doesn't mean you have to do anything, but at least you know what's going on.
And the same thing, by the way, for the airline industry, because there are more issues on aircraft that you know today of unruly guests, people who drink too much, goodness knows what they do. And again, this information costs millions of dollars in diversions and everything else. So this is, again, not a siloed information. This is real-time information. And certainly governments around the world are wanting to know more on how they can help private industry, not to be big brother, but because of the need and necessity of how human beings are working today. So basically, Casey, with this, you've got the opportunity to literally do anything. It's a universal system.
Oh, absolutely. And what's great about it is for us, we can easily customize this to fit, any industry. This is not an off-the-shelf product where, hey, you take it, it is what it is, and hopefully it does, a big percentage of what it is you're trying to do. We can really tailor this solution to fit your organization, your industry, to where it responds and acts the exact way you need it to act. And again, you can deploy this not only across your entire organization, but it's really set up to be deployed, globally, or, through an entire industry where you can work together with the people that, you're in part of this industry with, where now you can share that critical data. Another part of this that's also there is the law enforcement version, where now you also have the ability, if you want to bring law enforcement into it, you now have a platform that can talk with law enforcement, and everyone can finally be on the same page of sharing the data according to how you want to share it. You made a great point where it's not just open for anybody to see. The data is secure, it is protected, and it's shared according to your desire of how much you want to share and who you want to share it with. But it gives that platform for now, we're eliminating the excuse of we didn't know. Right? It's now you've got the ability to know what's going on.
It is a continuum of communication, and one of the aspects I love, and I look at this when we say, how do we now communicate? If you're not communicating, you're in trouble. I don't care if you're an office building, whether you are a hospital, or whether you're a cruise line or a hotel or casino, it works for everyone. The most important thing is the data is real. It's not somewhere tucked away of, oh, I didn't know that. It's at the fingertips of everyone. And by the way, it works on any system. In other words, it'll work on your smartphone. It'll work on a tablet. And the coolest part is you can be either connected internet-wise, or you can be server-wise, still with an intranet system within a cruise ship, for instance, or a hotel. So there's no issues. And I think the most important thing is management, whether you be a global organization, you be in Timbuktu, Egypt, or wherever, you're able to pull up information on all of your locations automatically.
Yeah, well, you absolutely, I'm thinking, you think a cruise ship, if I'm an avid, traveler, and I love taking several cruises a year, if I'm an individual and I have some special either needs or some special accommodations that I need, where I can, as a cruise industry, I can say, let's just take Carnival, for example. If I show up on a Carnival ship and they document, create a subject packet on myself and says, hey, this individual has this need on a cruise ship, whatever it may be. It could be a luxury need, it could be a medical need, whatever it may be. Well, I can go to any Carnival Cruise Line ship that I want, and when an employee encounters me and puts my name into the system and searches me, it sees what my accommodations are. It doesn't matter if I could be the first time on that ship, that cruise line, that ship will know, hey, these are the needs of this individual, so let's take care of those needs. There's nothing out there like that allows these entities to communicate that way. And again, it's not just from a security standpoint, it's also from an accommodation standpoint, that this is a global system that can be used for any type of encounter there is with a guest.
And remember, we can also do this within a hotel, where it can be self-check-in because of facial recognition. Everybody today is used to the selfie. And certainly we all have loyalty cards, and they all want to put our faces on the loyalty card. So there you have ratified who the person is. I think it's very important that we are a universal system. And when it comes to implementation, it's speedy. We're not looking, we can get the base system in immediately, and it's on a first come, first served basis. And when it comes down to cost, oh my goodness, it is so affordable, it's ridiculous. And I think I'm saying that correctly. I mean, it's absolutely affordable.
Absolutely. I mean, our vision was to mass deploy this and get it in the hands of people to actually use it and solve a problem here. And our business model is geared around mass adoption, because that's that's how you solve the problem, right? It does no one any good to make a product so expensive that only a handful of people can use it. The way this truly gets valuable is when everybody's using it. Now you have that mass collection of data and sharing, and now you see the true power of the system. So yes, it's priced to where anyone can afford it and see the immediate value and return on it. That's how it was designed.
Well, Casey, thank you. I appreciate we wanted to bring you folks a little bit more information, and on a regular basis, you'll be seeing our webinars out there through LinkedIn, through Twitter, through Instagram. And I think we've given you a little bit of a bit of information. And remember, you can contact us through our website. That's www.entrical.com. We'll have information at the back end. So why don't you reach out? Because we certainly can not only reach out, we can communicate totally within your organization. Casey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day.